Greetings, fellow action figure connoisseurs, and welcome to another episode of Digital Caveman Presents Star Wars Wednesday. I, as always, am your host, the Digital Caveman, and today I will be presenting you with Star Wars, the Black Series, A New Hope, Han Solo. Let's get into it! Let's start things off with a look at the packaging. And here on the top, nothing much going on. Got some tape. Got this peg hook cookie thing. And that's it. Star Wars The Black Series. We've got a nice big window here showcasing most of the figure and his accessory. Number 10, Han Solo. Star Wars A New Hope. Warning! Don't stick things in your pie hole that do not belong there. 4 and up, there's the assortment number. Hasbro print. On the bottom, small print, fine print, legalese print, made in China print, symbols I'm not going to learn, and a barcode. On this side, nothing up here. Got a window right here. Or, you know, it wraps around. You guys can see what it looks like. Anyway, it's there to let some light in from the side, or to give you kind of a profile of the figure. Stripe down here, it continues around from the front at an upward angle around to the back. Star Wars The Black Series at the bottom. On this side, we've got artwork of Han. Well, being Han. Then on the back, we've got that same artwork. It's just a bigger shot of it, or zoomed in. Anyway, you can see it. There it is. It's on. Same as this, just closer in. Star Wars The Black Series, Han Solo as Captain of the Millennium Falcon. Han Solo and his co-pilot Chewbacca came to believe in the cause of galactic freedom, joining Luke Skywalker and Princess Leia Organa in the fight against the Empire. Until that bounty hunter they ran into on Ord Mantell changed his mind. And he's number 10 in Star Wars A New Hope subline of the Black Series. Attention, especially don't stick things in your French pie hole. Includes figure and accessory. Warning, attention, Octoon, don't stick things in any other language pie hole that do not belong there. Do not give it to babies. Small print, fine print, legalese print, made in China print, Disney print, and Hasbro print. That, my friends, is a look at the packaging. Let's take a look at the figure and his accessory, which is the only accessory Han Solo needs. And first up, we have handy dandy tweezers, so we can take a look at that one accessory. And it is Han Solo's Blastech DL44. It does have a bit of a paint app here on the handle, although it is kind of hard to see in under the lights. And I say it's a paint on the handle. It may not be. Might just be my imagination. It doesn't. Under the lights, it looks like there is, but out from under the lights, it looks like there isn't. So, regardless of that, it does have nice molded details, and it looks very, very much like the movie prop. A silver paint app on the end of it would have been nice. Hasbro. And a little bit of brown for the handle as well. So all molded in one color. No paint apps to it. Let's take a look at Han Solo himself. And I will say overall, I really like this. And I know Harrison Ford had the big hair like this in The New Hope, but I feel like this is just slightly too much. but I could be wrong. But the likeness there is about 90%, I would say. I think it's pretty close. There might be closer. There probably is closer. But I would say, as far as Black Series goes, this is probably the closest that they've ever gotten. And even the hair doesn't throw it off that much. Now, speaking of the hair, it does have lots of nice molded details in it. And you can see, look at all that wash to help all that hair stand out. Imagine if Chewbacca had that same wash. So, of course, the inkjet technology on the face, eyes and eyebrows, a little bit of color to the lips, maybe a little bit up here to the cheeks. So, overall, looks pretty darn good, I think. Head, neck, and torso, 3 separate pieces. Dumbbell at the top of the neck and a ball joint at the bottom. This, his shirt here looks like an overlay, and then the jacket or vest is an overlay on top of that. So, kudos to Hasbro using, you know, one color plastic for the actual body and then using overlays to fix the rest of it. I think that's pretty clever, and probably a cost-cutting feature as well. So, nice molded details in his belt for his pants. Silver paint app there for the belt buckle, and the belt loops are painted on as well. Then we've got his gun belt. It's got some nice splashes of silver up here for the buckle, for the rivets. This, some black and silver. Silver here on the back. I wish they'd have popped in some silver for these rivets, and then these rivets here. Surprisingly, the Corellian blood stripe is sculpted into the pants. So, that's cool. And then, of course, it's a paint app as well. So, that's really cool. And then, as far as the boots go, they're just molded in black plastic. The feet as well. The arms molded in this color. These pieces of his form sticking out are actually separate pieces plugged into the arm. So I'm assuming that's another cost-saving feature, although creating more pieces might, I don't know. I don't know exactly how all that works, but I guess it saves that they don't have to mold this and then paint it as well. So maybe it's more of a time-saving feature. I don't know. So overall, I have to say it cuts a very nice Han Solo. Let's take a look at his articulation. I mentioned how the neck and head and the stuff's put together earlier. He looks up that high. He looks down that low, so that's pretty good. He's got some chicken neck. He's got waggle at the bottom of the neck and at the head as well. So that's really good. He can do the full Exorcist, although you do have to watch that neck. At the shoulder, surprisingly, you can't see it, but butterfly goes back that far, forward that far. And it's nice that they put that in there, but the vest really not only covers it up, but hinders it a bit as well. He has a 360-degree rotation there at the shoulder, and he can raise his arm up a little past 90 degrees. Single hinge and swivel at the elbow, and it does have a deep cut. And it gives you that much bend. As I mentioned before, these forearm pieces are separate and they do rotate. The wrist, at the wrist it rotates 360 degrees, and it's on that Indiana Jones type ball, it looks like. Maybe not. That works a little different, it seems, than that. But it's the same idea. So his wrist can go in and out, up and down, all around. And it's the same on this side as well. Now, let's see. I think he has a cut at the waist. He does have a cut at the waist. So that allows him to lean back that far. That allows him to lean forward that far. So not a whole lot forward. He does get a full 360 degrees of rotation there, as well as some hula, and he can lean left and right pretty darn good. At the hips, let's see. No pull down hinge yet. So he can give you that much of the splits. It feels like the holster might be hindering this leg a little bit. No, it's not. So that moves up out of the way pretty good for that. Let's see. Nothing in the upper thigh, so the thigh joint there is on a ball, so you do get a little twist there. And then single hinge and swivel at the knee. Swivels around 360 degrees. And a deep cut gives you that much bend, so that's pretty darn good. Then at the top of the boot, there is a boot cut. 360 degrees of rotation there. And then at the ankle, tilts down that far. Tilts up that far. And he does have a pin for rocker. Now, as far as his accessory storing, he can hold it in his hand when he's blasting poor Greedo, or it does go in his holster. And sometimes this will go in there and sometimes it won't. Just depends on its mood and my skill level at the time. So there's that. But it does lay down pretty good, so even if it doesn't go in, it still kind of looks like it is. So that's a good thing. So there you have it, my friends. I'll look at the figure and his accessory and storage. It's time for my favorite part of a review, comparisons. And here we have Star Wars The Black Series, A New Hope, Han Solo. With Star Wars The Black Series, that very first Black Series Han Solo. Star Wars The Black Series, The Empire Strikes Back, 40th Anniversary Han Solo. Star Wars The Black Series, Return of the Jedi, General Han Solo. And Star Wars The Black Series, A New Hope, Chewbacca. For our last set of comparisons, here we have Star Wars The Black Series, A New Hope, Han Solo, with from the Marvel Legends series making his cameo appearance, Stan the Man Lee, from G.I. Joe Classified series, the Hasbro Pulse exclusive Regal variant Cobra Commander. From Star Wars The Black Series, the Archive Edition 501st Legion Clone Trooper. And for a 7-inch scale comparison from the Masters of the Universe Masterverse line, the 40th Anniversary He-Man. For final thoughts on Star Wars The Black Series, A New Hope, Han Solo, I have to say, before I got this figure in hand, I was a little bit on the fence about it. I thought, well, at least from the digital renders, it looked like the hair was just too much. And I still feel like it's just slightly more than is needed for the figure. I think the head to hair ratio is a little off, but that's just my opinion. Your mileage, of course, may vary. It just looks to me like slightly too much. But Harrison Ford did have that big hair during A New Hope, so I could just be wrong. But it just, to me, It's off just a little bit. Not a lot, just a little bit. I like this figure. I think it cuts a very nice Han Solo. I think the likeness is pretty accurate. I said 90% before, I think. It might not be quite that high. 88% maybe. But, you know, it's dang sure a lot closer than a lot of the other Han Solos that the Black Series has produced. I think probably the closest one, besides this one, this is probably the closest one. But the next closest one would be that Return of the Jedi Han Solo with the camouflage trench coat. And so I would like to see them, and they probably will do this, but I would like to see a new Bespin Han Solo with a much better likeness, and you know, this newer articulation, the deeper cuts, and the, you know, these just feel better than some of the previous releases of Han Solo. And, you know, I mean, a lot of this can be reused. So, there's that. But, again, overall, I like this. I think maybe the gun probably could have used a couple of paint apps on it, just because. Some silver for the barrel, some brown for the pistol grip, or the grip, the handle, whatever you want to call it. And that's it. I think other than that, they did a very good job on this figure, even with slightly too much hair. And again, that might just be me. Your mileage may vary, and you may think he has the appropriate amount of hair, and that's okay. Like I said, this one is pretty close. I like it. I liked it enough to replace a figure in my collection with it, so there is that. But, you know, if you're on the fence because of whatever reason, I feel like, and again, you know, I'm not telling you how to spend your money, but I feel like this is an appropriate replacement for previous versions of A New Hope Han Solo. And the only way they could have improved this, I think, other than a couple of paint apps on the gun, is if he had come with an alternate set of hands that had the, you know, the gloves on them, and an alternate head with the headset on it. And that really would have completed Han Solo from A New Hope, as far as I'm concerned. I know there's, you know, Stormtrooper Han Solo, but that you know, I guess I don't really need that one. I have one. The likeness isn't the greatest, but I'm just gonna slap a helmet on him, make him a Stormtrooper anyway, I guess. I don't know. Probably not. But yeah, I think this is a worthy addition to a Black Series collection. But, you know, do what you feel is right, of course. Well, that does it for the review. I hope you enjoyed it. I enjoyed making it. Only support from viewers like you make this programming possible. Each view does count, and I do appreciate each and every single view I receive. Thank you, and thank you so very, very, very much for supporting this channel through viewing. If you are interested in supporting my channel further, I am now offering memberships at various tiers. Click the join button on my YouTube page, or check this video's description for the link. and see if any membership offers are right for you, but only if you are in a position to do so. Comment below, like, share, subscribe if you would like to see more content or just help the channel grow, or both. It's even better. And don't forget to ding that bell so that in the future you will be notified as my new content becomes available. That's our wrap, folks. I'll see you next time.